Good evening, Ernestine. Hello there, Jesus girl Betty. Hey, Prophetess Danielle. Let me know when you get home. Just say H and I'll know you're home. Good morning. Good evening, Evangelist Karen. God bless you. Hello there, Ernestine. How is everybody this evening? I am glad to have you here on board. Caught in disillusionment with the narcissist. When you think it's one thing and it's not. And a lot of times you don't even see the reality until you get out of it. Because inside it's too invasive. It's too much activity going on. Too many things happening. Too many things that you start to gaslight yourself because you think it's one thing, then it look like another thing, then it appears like something else. So when you get out of it, that's when your healing begins. People have asked me, how can I heal being on the inside? It's usually very difficult because there's too much going on. Hey, Hannah, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us. It's good to have you here on this evening. So you are asking what is going on when I'm still in it with the narcissist. I want to get out of it, but I don't quite know how. And you are disillusioned with everything that is happening. And things are happening so much, things are happening so fast until by the time you think it's one thing, it's another thing. Let's talk about that. Disillusionment. Karen, you want to write something about disillusionment? When you are thinking it's one thing, but it's another thing. When you are so deceived from it until you really, you know it's not right. You can't pin a point. By this time, you done been through a lot. You can't really talk to a lot of people. A lot of people don't understand. Even though there's a lot of information out about it, you still got a lot of people that don't understand. And then most people don't believe that you're going through everything that you're going through. Most people tell you there's no way that you can be going through all of that. And then when you tell them you are, they ask, well, why are you staying? Why don't you just leave? You can have 15 kids. And they said, why don't you just leave? Just leaving a relationship when kids are involved. Why don't you just leave? It's not that easy. You have 15 kids. It's not that easy just to leave. Especially when you have children. You have to have a court order because if you take the kids, they can say that you abduct the kids, you kidnap the kids. So there's a lot of variables involved. That's why we say have a paper trail. Even whether the police do anything or not, if there's physical violence involved, have a paper trail. Because you want a paper trail for the courts. And they can have a lot of information, but the information that is given that is factual cannot be denied. Right? And let's get some comments right here. Wow, we got a lot of them. Close to be free. So I remember when I became tired. Let me straighten this out. When I became tired of the narcissist, she said, let me have to enlarge this to see this, Karen. Antics and gaslighting. Constantly, she's still writing. I'm trying to get the rest of what you said, Karen. Let it come out. She said, putting on a show for others. because you do have the inside narcissist and you have the outside narcissist. Now, the outside narcissist is the performance for everybody else. The inside narcissist is the havoc for you, what you're going through, the turmoil that you're going through. And the outside narcissist is sweet, gentle, loving, but that's not the inside narcissist to you. You and the kids can go through hell. And on the outside, he got everything together. He's nice. He seemed to be very attentive. He even get the kids and he love on them. And he do inside what he would never, we do outside what he would never do inside. So a lot of people got, a narcissist have two faces. And this is the disillusionment. That's why sometimes it's difficult for the flying monkeys, family members, friends, to see what you're saying when you're talking about the narcissist. She said, I would be disillusioned. She said, I would be disillusioned because he will act out, rage, complain the minute we got into the vehicle. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about. The inside narcissist and the outside narcissist. Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's hard for a lot of people to believe you. Hello there, Kiana. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Hannah, Danielle, Jesus, Betty girl, thank you so much. Jesus girl, Betty, thank you for joining us on today. They often act out. And you got to remember, a narcissist got this gaping hole. It's never, ever filled. That's why no matter what you do, it's like filling a bottomless pit. You cannot. Because no matter what you do, it's never enough. They always requiring more and more. And no matter what you give them, it's never enough. And then after a while, it doesn't matter what you give them. They got to go outside because you're just like this shiny object that doesn't shine as bright anymore. You can cater to them. You can service them. That's not enough. Not for them. Let me see the comments. Karen says, let me get this, Karen, so we can read this. And see, the thing is, you haven't seen rage until you see the narcissist get enraged. They're irrational. They will bring up stuff that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Anything to offset you, anything to destabilize you. Hey there, Eminem, how are you? God bless you. Thank you for joining us on today. Anything to destabilize you. What is the disillusionment? That we can work it out. That if I keep being nice, if I keep giving them what they want, if I keep being loving, if it's 10 years and you being loving, they haven't even attempted to change. And it doesn't matter if they think they're losing you and they go to counseling, they go into counseling not because they're going to change. They don't want to lose you. She says, others don't see the narcissist abuse that we see in private. She said, it's almost useless to try to explain. Yeah. Why? Because it's a different image in public as it is in private. Because people do not understand. They'll think something wrong with you. She said, thank you so much, Eminem. And then, Miss Henry, how are you? God bless you. Thank you for joining us on today. The narcissist always have something to say about everything you do, and you are never going to please them. You're never going to get it right. Because if you got it right, if you start doing your strength in you, they have nothing to hold over you. They would not be able to control you. So there's no way you can ever get it right. Disillusionment keeps you there. Disillusion keeps you in cognizant dissonance, where you start to excuse them. You start to make up excuses for them. If I do this, if this happened, hey, When it's been 20 years, what else needs to happen? Huh? What else do you need to do that you haven't done already? See? It's always something else needed in order to please them. And you're not going to please them. You're not going to satisfy them. No matter what you do, it is never enough. There used to be a song, the greatest movie ever, and it was never enough. No matter what you do, no matter where you say, no matter what you go, it's never enough. Here we go. She said, after the breakup, all the flying monkeys tried to reach out to me. She said, even his mama called me 3 months. Contact. Wow. This is Miss Henry. Yeah. You know why? Because when the family get involved, they really trying to get that supply back in there. That means he really needs you. He can't do it too much without you. That means he don't have another supply like you. And it's too expensive to let you go. Psh. Once you go, you don't go back. Once you go, you don't go back, no matter what. The price is too heavy to go back there. She said, and just like Karen said, others don't see it. Others don't see what you go through. You can explain it and they don't see it. Because there's two faces, where it can be several faces to the narcissist. There's the cheating side, that he cheats with his supply. There's the loving side, which is not loving. It's the deceptive side that he shows the public. And then there's the side that you identify with, you live with it. So it doesn't matter how much he put out in private. And then after a while, your demeanor is going to begin to tell off on you. Your demeanor is going to let them know, why does she seem so unhappy? And after a while, some people going to pick up on it. Because the narcissists slip. They're so involved with grandiose impression until they just start slipping up. They start impressing too many people, and then they start slipping up with the same people. Wow. I love these comments. After the breakup, the flying monkeys tried to reach out to me. See? When the narcissist is not done, they reach out immediately. And then sometimes they will leave and discard you and come back to you. She said, if you're new to the, thank you so much, Danielle said, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And make sure you like the channel. Share the channel. If this information can be helpful to someone you know, and if you know someone that is involved in a narcissist relationship, and it's quite, they can't even describe what they're going through, send this to them. It would be a blessing to them. Because some people just need help. Some people just need somebody to talk to, especially those that you know have been isolated. All the narcissists want them to do is go to work and go home. And you know what? That's what they do. They go to work and they go home. Make sure you like and share this channel. If you have any question, you can write me at destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. destinyhelper12s@gmail.com. When you are disillusioned, you see things that are not there. You think things that are not there. And sometimes just the investment alone, if you have spent 15, 20 years, you're thinking these are too many years for me to just let go. But he's not changing. He don't want to change. And you think staying there is going to change him. And it is not. It is not. You're going to keep going through what you're going through. And next thing you know, you 10 years in. Next thing you know, I know people have been there 50, 60 years, and nothing has changed. It's still the same. Yeah. And some of you have recognized character traits, but you think, I can't make it on my own. I got these kids. We done bought this house. When the narcissist wants to entangle you, he do it through owning possessions, getting a house together, getting a car together, getting a business together, getting married. And when you get married, they want children right away, or they bring their own kids and engulf your kids. They want the extended family. And they're not taking care of their family, so you know they're not going to take care of yours. And then out of the family, the narcissist will pick the golden child. And the golden child may be your child, not even their own kid. See? And the golden child, you think they got it made, but every decision of their life is made for them. They cannot make their own decisions. The narcissist won't let them make their own decisions. Okay, YouTube. Okay. It's saying that some of these reviews, some of these comments are up for review, so watch what you say online. Thank you so much, Danielle. She's jumping on it because we do have trolls that try to get in here. When you got a transactionship, every day is a day of stress. Every day is a day of disillusionment. If you stay there too long, you're going to start noticing things happening to your physical body, things happening to your mind, brain fog, forgetfulness, headaches, blurred vision. You feel nauseated all the time. Your food don't settle. Then you start having sleepless nights. Then you notice you start having paranoia. You get real jumpy. You always jumpy. The kids, they're bothering you, and they're just being regular kids. But you easily agitated and irritated. It's not the kids, it's the relationship. You want more control in the relationship. You want more consideration in the relationship. And you're not getting it. Not from the narcissist. They want to do what they want to do and go where they want to go. See? And what you're saying is you want a little more time with the narcissist. Even when they're there, it's irritated and agitated. They stir up arguments. You can tell when the narcissist is ready to go because they do the accusational point. They start up an argument so they can get out. Ms. Henry said, one of my friends said he seemed nice and that I was going through hell and my face broke out. She said that what did he do? He future faked me. He was hoovering a lot, asking me about marriage. Finally, after 3 months, he stopped calling. Isn't that something? If a narcissist don't see where they're going to gain ground, they out. Especially if they see where you can be a problem. If you will resist them and they can't get over you or get you under them, they're out. Because the one thing a narcissist does not want is a narcissistic injury. And so the future faking is disillusionment. He let you know everything's going to be all right. He cannot have a job and promise you the world. Just ain't going to happen. Just ain't going to happen. See what I mean? The narcissist, when you've been with the narcissist, you can pick up patterns. And once you recognize patterns, don't dismiss patterns. The pattern of when he went with somebody or been with somebody, you notice something new about his behavior, something new about the way he's have sex with you, something new about what he bring in the house. Because a narcissist is a professional mirror. And the mirror talks more than his conversation do. It tell off on him. And the narcissist could be mirroring the relationship that he just had. She said, but hoovering a lot, asking me about marriage, and finally after 3 months, he stopped calling. Boy, that's some real resistance. See, the narcissist is a professional at testing the ground to see if the ground is true, see if the ground is ready. And the thing is, if these men and women told you how many relationships they have been through, you would not date them just out of care for yourself. That's too many relationships you done had. I don't know what's lurking in your body with all those relationships. And anything look like the same pattern of something you left, don't engage it. Because if it left you, but it has the pattern of what it was with you, and you didn't want it again, those patterns are going to worse. When you have went with one narcissist, usually when you are with another narcissist, it's worse than the narcissist you was with before. And narcissists know a broken vessel. What do you mean? They know when you've been with a narcissist. It's this beacon about you. There's this about you. They know when you have been captured about a narcissist, and that narcissist before them has made you ready for them. Listen to this. She said, making up misunderstandings. She said, and turning into a loud, raging set of false accusation. She said, this is just to leave. She said, often it is an excuse to cheat. Yep. She said, I would see patterns of new laugh or vocabularies. Absolutely. Eminem said, oh yeah, that's what they do. And Ernestine said, that is so true. Because they are, if you ever want to know a good mirror, there's no better mirror than a narcissist. And it's even in friendship. A narcissist would take a friendship and begin to imitate that friendship. Danielle said, knock parents know how to break down their children for a lifetime, and this make them happy. That's why once you get it, Danielle, you got to get it. Because you got to remember, that is a connection that's beyond any other connection. They had you in the womb. And out of the womb, you feel obligated. And then when you don't feel obligated, guilt. And when you don't feel guilt, you feel a sense of loyalty and responsibility. And all of it is devastating because it is hard to go no contact with parents until you get it. She said, he had his kids, this is Miss Hendry, he had his kids calling all of a sudden before the breakup. He was going to the movies. She said, and making friends. He was going to do whatever it took to get you hooked. But obviously, he know that once you make up in your mind, you made up in your mind. Because he got his flying monkeys. He got his mom. Now he's getting his kids. So you were a pretty tough cookie. That's what that's telling me. That you had some grit about yourself. That when you was done, and he knew it. So he had to break you down. He had to break down your will. He had to get that fight out of you. He had to make you believe his disillusionment. So he's love bumming. Love bumming to make you believe the future lie, the future faking, the breadcrumbing. She said, hey, Hakar, how are you? Yeah. See? And when you are battling for your life, Danielle said, It's very lonely without that connection. She said, but I'm learning to deal with it regardless. It's just sad. A child is just a sad. It is a sad choice that a child has to make that choice, even as an adult. But for your life, more so as adult, because they can get in avenues that they couldn't get as a child and you understood it. The thing is, you have an understanding as an adult. You know something is wrong. You know that it's not right. And even if you try to dismiss it, it trickles back down to your memory. And finally, your mind tell you, we can't do this. We cannot keep going through this. We cannot keep having this. Why? Because it got to be better than this. And especially when your physical body, your psychological is being tested and tried and brought to almost a screeching halt. Because the spirit is more than just the experience. It's the spirit behind them. When it is a spiritual connection, that is the realm it has to be dealt with in. That's how you're going to get the victory. Spirit over spirit. And the stronger force win. I know you, especially when it's family, you don't want to be without a mother, father, sister. You're like, I got to have somebody. But it may not necessarily work. Eminem said, you're right, it's a narcissist often developed from the environment of a person the environment a person was raised in. While there can be some genetics, influence, research show childhood involvement. And it can be genetics. Because the way a parent goes through and what they go through, that can be passed on to the child. If it is spiritual, it can be passed on to that child. That child can show traits of narcissism. If you look back and that child is young, they show traits. Then they grow up as a teenager. But you saw it in them young. You saw it in them young. Haka said, I just told someone I feel like an orphan when it comes to my parents. It's crazy to feel like you carry your parents and they're alive because of how they treat you. Wow. Let me tell you something. And then before that, Danielle said, it is not fair when I've done everything they have asked. It's not a matter of fairness. It's a matter of reality, Danielle. She said, but I won't continue to complain. I know it gets worse with age. She said, and I guess I'll accept it. For your own sake. Look, you're not going to make a person change. And how you feel is not how they feel. They're not carrying your feelings. You're carrying your feelings. And if you don't recognize what's going on, you can get caught in a trap. You can get caught in a trap. If you get trapped in that, no one can get you out of that trap but a choice. Either way it goes, you got to make a choice about what you're going to do, what you're going to tolerate, and what you will not tolerate. Plus to be free, say, yep, that's true, Danielle. Miss Hendry said, I blocked many avenues because I got a text from unknown number confirming a date. I know it was the petty narc texting from different numbers. He was so draining. And that's always the case. Miss Henry, that's always the case. Haka said, my issue is with knowing we are supposed to honor our parents, but I want nothing else with them. She said, I don't know how God feels about that. You can honor people without having contact with them. You can respect a man and cut him off. You can forgive him and cut him off. You don't have to be around your parents just because they're alive. We got a sense of obligation because of the way we're taught. We're taught to serve them. We're taught to connect with them. We're taught to honor them. Well, honoring them, if it's killing you, you can't give that kind of honor. You got to stay away from what's draining you. Stay away from what's killing you. Stay away from what's limiting you. You will go your whole life and be 60 years old and they'll still be draining you. Being with your parents, honoring them, doing what they want to connect with them, doesn't change them. Eventually, it's going to change you because you can get to a crossover point where they just win. And you think it's going to always be like this, and so you let it be like that. Then your life start to go down. It doesn't matter how much you work, you're broke. It doesn't matter how much you do, nothing gets done. It doesn't matter how creative you are, it all goes backward. Anytime the enemy wants to stop your life, he brings a hindrance into your life. She said, this is an edifying message. Yeah, Miss Henry. Yeah. How God feels about that? It's not God feeling about that. If you read in the Bible, there's time God cut Israel off. Israel wouldn't obey God. God didn't drag them. He went to the ones who obeyed him. Because the people, 3 million people was held up by one family, one man. God told them not to take any cursed thing from the people that they defeated, Ai. And one man took and hid it in his camp. 3 million people was stopped. 3 million people couldn't do nothing until that one family was dealt with. If that happened to 3 million over one family, you got one person in your family. What you think you're going to do? And Harkar say, yes, they are affecting the mental health in a very negative way, especially with what I'm going through with my ex. I woke up to my dad trying to flatten my dad trying to flatten my tires while I was in his house. You know what, y'all? She said, right after the breakup, I had a dream that I went to his mom and the whole house shut down. She said, like a smart home. Wow. How come? Because y'all, you doing this by your emotions. You're not doing this by your wisdom. Your wisdom tell you to move on. Your emotions tell you to stay stuck. You can't, your daddy flatten your tires while you in this house. You shouldn't have been there. You got too much evidence. You need to stay away. But when you got holes in you, that's what caused the narcissist to come. That's what's caused the narcissist to want you. You got to take your wholeness and live on it. Even if it's with your mom. Even if it's with your mom. You can't let things keep killing you. You cannot. You can't. You can't keep dying. You can't. Because that's all you're going to do. And if you got kids, what they supposed to do? Because you don't have no life in you. They drain the life out of you. And then you have to fake the happiness you have, but you really drain. And you can't keep entertaining yourself, falsifying the entertainment. Trying to act like you happy and you're miserable. It is what it is. Your mom or dad is a narcissist. Okay, they're not going to love me. They don't have the propensity to love me like that. So why am I going to fake it? Why am I going to keep hindering my life, blocking my life for them? Because they're not going to block their life for you. In the end, they're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And they're not going to let you get in the way or what they want to do. The only time they call you is when they need something, because they think you're supposed to fulfill their need, not your need. And then out of trying to please them, you do whatever they ask. And guess what they do? They move on till they need you again. Miss Henry said, right after the breakup, oh, she was saying she dreamed she went to his mother's house. Danielle said, I admit I fake being happy now because I'm totally exhausted and know they care nothing about it. Okay, so what we going to do about it? Because we can keep going around in circles, or we can just come to the acknowledgement, God, I don't have it. I don't have my natural mother. I don't have my natural sister. I just don't have it. I'm not going to die because I don't have it. I can be really happy and not fake my happiness. She said, I feel like I've spent the last few years begging my parents to love me. She said, and I can't keep doing it. This is her car. Especially with what I've seen out of them lately. She said, yes, they tried to use me. They're not going to try to use you. They're going to use you because that's what they do. She said, I have definitely been faking being happy. This is her car. She said, and I've been doing that for a while now. She said, and I can't anymore. She said, it's to the point I'm having issues keeping a job because I'm so drained. So what we going to do? Either we're going to get it or we're not going to get it. Her car. Then you're going to be in poverty because you need a job to be able to take care of your needs and the needs of your family. But if you drain all the time with people who don't care, come on, what was the use of your dad except to hinder you, flatten your tires? This is your dad. What good would it do to flatten my tires? And then I can't get you to take me home. Something wrong with that picture. You have to accept your family. That's your family, and this is how they are. Miss Henry said, I learned the hard way because I was with a different narc for 9 years. He hoovered me for 6 months again and decided to go heal. She said, and I decided to go heal. Oh, man. He hoovered me 6 months ago, and I decided to go heal. Boy, I tell you the truth. When narcissists hoover, that means they can't find the adequate supply. And they're hungry. They're vampires. They're not getting the blood they want. She said, can you see my, Danielle, can you see my commitment? Lost the moderator wrench. Wow. Wow. Danielle, that's Karen. Can you help her fix that, Danielle? Haka, stop going after what doesn't work. Leave what doesn't work alone. She said, yes, Karen, I see you. You have the moderator wrench. Okay. Eminem said the narcissist tried to dim your light, but you have to choose to rise, heal, and grow stronger. That's it in a nutshell. She said, I still see your wrench. Okay. You have to choose it. You have to choose it. Oh my God. It's like being married when you're in a church and they tell you to stay married to a cheater, or they tell you to stay married to a wife beater. Why would you? Because the church told you that, but they're not in your house when he's cheating and then he wants to go to bed uncapped, or when he beating you and you can't come outside for a week until the things heal. She said it's true that the narcissists are like vampires. He came to my old job looking for me, asking where I was at. Isn't that something? She said cell phone glitch. Okay. See, he is desperate. Because you're being stalked. That's a stalker. He's no longer hoovering. He's stalking. He's coming to your job. So he's hungry. He is fuelless. He's not getting the fuel he wants. That matrix is not working. So Miss Henry, that's why he come. He is dry. That's a dry narcissist. He's not getting the fuel he wants. And so you provide the fuel that he wants. So that's stalking. That is past hoovering. That is stalking. And you have to watch stalkers because they're very intensive. They're very intensive about what they do. Danielle said, recovering from a heart attack is where my energy lies now. Rebuilding again. She said, from the rebuilding again from narc abuse. She said, I allowed it then, but now resist it at all costs. Because it was your life. It almost cost you your life. So you have to make up in your mind. And that goes to Hakar. Hakar, you can do this without them. Because if they abuse you, they will abuse the kids. The grandkids are an extension of you. And when they love the kids, sometimes that's fake. They present it one way and then do something another way. Y'all will. 15 minutes in, Hakar said, I need not to allow myself to feel guilty for protecting myself from their abuse. She said, and I need, let me see what this says. She said, and I need to tell myself they don't have a right to do this just because. Oh, Hakar. Just because they are my parents. They don't. She said, and I already decided whenever I was a kid, they were never around. They would never be around my dad, but now it's never. Let me get the whole scope of this. She said, but now they'll never be around my mom either. Hakar, you're the protection they got. And if you don't protect them, they're not going to be protected. You're what they got, little princess. You are what they got. You got to protect them. You got to comfort them. You got to cover them. You got to shield them. Hoover over your children. Protect your soul from devastation. They don't care. And the older they get, the less they care. Like Danielle said, she had a heart attack behind this. You got to protect your life. She said, worrying about what people say only chain you to the pain. That's good. She said, but staying with the narcissist costs you your health. She said, your peace, and eventually your life. And that's the truth. She said, document stalking. Make a police report so that there is a paper trail. This, and when you need a restraining order, then you can get it because you got a paper trail. She said, choose to walk away. It's not a weakness, it's survival. She says healing, and it's the first step to freedom. See, when you are surviving, it's still difficult because it's like barely making it in the water. You are not sinking, but you can't swim. You're just floating. You still need a savior. When you make a decision, come on programs like this. There are other people involved. Karen, put some safe rooms down. Come on Clubhouse every Tuesday, 7:45 Pacific Standard Time, 10:45 Eastern Time, 9:45 Central Time. Then you got Dr. Brian, you got uh, what's that? Confession of a Christian Girl. You have Cluster B Free Karen. You have Telsha, the T on the NPD, the T on NPD. She said it's hard work on the psychic. She said knowing that your parents don't love you. She said it's hard but necessary work. It's life. Yeah, you talking about life. That's life. It's life to recognize that you have to survive. When you first start, you're just surviving. And every time a thought come of guilt, like Holocaust said, it's guilt because it's like you doing something wrong to your parents. No, it's not. I'm living. They want to unalive me and I won't let them. She said right after the breakup, before I blocked the narcissist, she said he sent a video message and he looked haggard and like a haggard warlock. Wow. She said she giving the domestic violence line. Listen to me. And see, when they're doing witchcraft, what they do is keep that soul tie working because they're nowhere around you, but they got to keep that soul tie. And that soul tie keep you ruminating about them. And then you can be with them a year and all of a sudden you start thinking about them. They are doing probably black magic witchcraft to tie you into that soul so they can pull you back in. She said, why should we feel guilty? This is Haka. For protecting ourselves when they don't feel guilty about doing it. She said, my mother has actually screamed at me that she didn't care several times when I would tell her she hurt me. Wow. Okay, so now Haka, it's what we're going to do. Because you got to get out of that lane. There's tragedy in that lane. It's tragedy in that lane. You got to get out of that lane. You can't keep going to your mom. That's out. You got to close that door. Yes, it's a hard door to close. But you got to realize, do I want to live or do I want to go down? Because every time you go through that door, you end up hurt. Every time you go through that door, you end up in pain. Every single time. So now what you going to do? You can't keep ending up in pain. You can't keep disillusioned and gaslighting yourself. Like everything's not all right. That's a dangerous door, and that door hurts. She said, me dating this last narc, this is her card, really revealed a lot to me and about my family and how they've been accepting abuse my whole life. Okay, but Haka, when are we going to stop? Because your car was parked there and your dad trying to flatten your tires and your mama's screaming that she don't care. Okay, so what we there for? Why? Because if she's saying she don't care, she ain't trying to help you out. Come on now. She ain't trying to do it. Okay. You got to change. And change isn't change till you change. You are being hurt over and over again. That's the little girl trying to reach out to mom because the little girl never healed. You got to let the little girl heal so the woman can go forth. And you said sometimes you feel like an orphan child. That's an orphan spirit through abandonment. And that abandoned spirit received rejection because that's what they view you as, an orphan. And as long as you're seen as an orphan, you'll get treated like an orphan. She said when parents yell or react harshly, it's often less about you and more about the unresolved pattern or wounds they carry from their own upbringing. That's why you can't feel guilty. You got to go on. She said their narcissist experience is being criticized, dismissed, and confronted, controlled, can create a cycle where they are unconsciously projecting anger, fear, or frustration, or consciously, not unconsciously, because as you grow this, you do this because it's intentional. They know that when they do this, it's a certain feeling they have, a feeling of accomplishment, a feeling of completion, and their holes are filled with your pain. Their holes are filled with your rejection. Their holes are filled with you feeling abandoned. So when you are hurting, you feel their holes because it makes them feel like it's a right. They're not the only one feeling like this. They want you to feel like that. It's intentional. See? And I'm telling you, it's intentional. This is not unintentional behavior. But you got to be intentional too. How come you got to be intentional? And then you're right, it's intentional. You need to circle that. This is not where they are unconsciously doing this, because they're doing it all the time. She said the outburst is their story. She said, not yours. Recognizing, let me read this. She said, it's their story, not yours. Recognizing that helps you step back emotionally, protect your mental space, and break the generational cycle. And it goes back to what we was talking about. You got to make a decision. Every one of us that dealt with a narcissist on any plane had to break the cycle. We had to make a decision. We had to choose when enough was enough. She said they look very happy once they know they've hurt you, because they got a sense of fulfillment. That's their happiness. So they're waiting for you to come back so they can do it again. She said, true, Haka. She said, my brother, this is Danielle, laughed and smirked after he viciously, physically attacked me. He stabbed her and he laughed. She said, on Sunday night, Dr. Carmen Bryan, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, live. This is Karen. She's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at 8:30, 10:30, 11:30 Eastern Time. Come on, y'all, in this 5 minutes. Haka, I really want to reach out to you. You can't keep allowing that. And you got to let that little girl heal. You got to put a grave to it. Put dirt on it. Because every time you're going to feel the need to go to your parent, and every time you're going to get hurt. Write me. I am available if you need me to be available. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. She said, when you've had enough, you will know when to walk away from without any regrets. Absolutely. Danielle, they will laugh, mark you, and it's seeing, and it's like seeing a demon. It's sad. They're happy because of their nature. You can't make people love you. You can't make people want you. You can't make people need you. She said, the video on the way out. Thank you so much for your interaction and your support. On Thursday, Telsha Edinburgh, the T on NPD on Thursdays. Instagram, Facebook. Let me tell you something. Danielle said, yes, Haka, saw the demon and its black eyes. Y'all, I want you to comment on this video. Leave comments and I'm going to respond. I'll go back and respond. Because even if I've gone off, leave your comments and I will go back and respond to your comments. If you want me to get in contact with you, leave that contact information and I will get back in contact with you. Haka, can't make them love you. Princess, can't make them. Can't make them. So what you got to do is decide to live. What you got to do is know that you can go on without them. You don't need them that bad. You don't need them like that. You don't. All you're going to do is eradicate your peace and cause your peace to go into a struggle. So make sure you make your comments as we go off. And I want to see you all next Wednesday. Haka, Miss Henry, make sure you write me. Like and share the page. If you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And I will do a video about what we talked about tonight. But I want you to leave comments and leave information on my email where I can get in contact with you. She said, I will reach out to you and I will send an email. I'm looking for the email. Custom Be Free Karen has put her information in there so that you can also access her Cluster Be Free, Cluster Be Free 2 on Clubhouse this Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. She said, choose the picture with the red hair. All right? I love you to life, and I'm looking for you to reach out to me. Thank you for this opportunity. Haka, we're going to be praying for you. You got to move on. Danielle had to do it, and it's still hard for her. And it'll be difficult for a minute. But the more you do it, the more you will acclimate to being without them. And you need to acclimate. Because you can't keep getting hurt by them, by going around them. All right. I'm looking for your email, and I'm watching for your comments. I'm Helen Sadler, your Destiny Helper.